Welcome back, Officers of the Public. It's your course on Honor Roll Police Chief APGAINS. I'm gonna be honest, I've shot this video twice. Both times they were bangers of videos, but about the 5-minute mark, I just had a brain fart and I was too lazy to edit. So we're just gonna raw dog this. We're ripping the rubber off. We're just gonna go straight in. No jokes, no funny business. The video is gonna be less enjoyable, but we're just gonna hit you with cold, hard facts. A team that I make fun of a lot is a team that you should now farm, and that seems kind of funny to me to say, but it is objectively true, and it's kind of true for many, many players. Now, of course, if you're a 0 GP player, you started yesterday, maybe you should focus on hitting level 85 before you worry too much about this team. But for those of you who are progressing a little bit, you're free to play, you're in that early mid-game, you're in that mid-game, maybe even your end game. The biggest meme in all of Galaxy of Heroes in the past couple of years has been the Rogue One faction, and now I know on the surface, this is an obvious take. Yes, of course, we want to farm our Rogue One. We want to relic them because they're going to get the titties. The pro fun titties, aka the profundity, is going to be super important. Obviously, APGAINS. We want to farm these characters, but let's talk about beyond the surface level. Surface level, you got to get Biston to 5, Cassian to 8, Jin to 5, Admiral Radis to 9. That's basically 4 of the 5. You should probably throw in maybe K2SO or something for, being part of the ship or whatever. But are you going to get actual solid GAC viability out of this squad? Now, for mid-game players like me at the just cresting 5 million GP mark, a Relic 8 Cassian and a Relic 9 Radis are going to immediately be one of your more powerful characters. I have one non-requirement R8 in my entire account, and it's Jedi Knight Luke, and I have no R9s because I'm literally too poor for R9s. And that's kind of a funny thing to say in the world of gaming, that I don't have something in a game that I am objectively not terrible at because I'm too poor, but that's just the world that we live in. His Omicron is, Spark of the Rebellion is solid. It's an okay Omicron. It's not game-changing. I highly doubt that it's going to be it's going to be as good as the Akbarino Omicron. And for those of you guys who don't understand the Akbar effect, where even is my Akbar? Yes, we all understand that Akbar's Omicron's not great. It's solid, but it's just always going to go down in history that Akbar's Omicron in the last 3v3 was the #1 most held defensive team in all of GAC for an entire month. So forever and always will the Akbar effect just kind of be a phrase that is coined in the hollowed halls of APGAINS' random acronyms and other sayings that he makes up for his own amusement. So Admiral Radis' Omicron is not at all useful, and you'd kind of think that even though you have pretty high relics on the squad, are they really going to be able to do much? And for mid-game players like me, or players who are at 4 million or 3 million GP, or even players who are at 6 million or 7 million GP, that's still a pretty big investment. Are you gonna get the juice for the proverbial squeeze? Now, this is where in the other takes of this video I went on some hilarious tangents about PP size and all of classic APGAINS stuff and all of that nonsense. But I'm gonna cut out the nonsense. I'm gonna cut out the BS and just say that I thought the Cassian Andor trailer was fucking awesome, and I think they're probably gonna give him an Omicron. I would have in previous years said they're going to give him a rework, but reworks don't exist anymore unless you can pay for them. Omicrons are something you can pay for. So I would imagine that they would probably coincide in Omicron, not only with the release of the show, which I don't even know when that is. Maybe that's in a year. Maybe that's in 6 months. Whenever the Omicron and the show come out, I think the Omicron's probably going to come out way before the show, let's be honest, because that doesn't require that much work. I think it's going to coincide with a Conquest character maybe it's Big Dick Ben, it's Big Bulge Ben Solo. For those of you guys who don't know, Ben Solo has a gigantic bulge. I guess it doesn't appear in game. Oh, nice little bow from Ben Solo. He looks kind of goofy, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like they've never been able to make Kylo look as sexy as he does in the movie, and I just realized his hand. What the hell? All right, so this is the first time I've seen the in-game model for Big Bulge Ben Solo, but it's not awesome. But aside, that is a totally irrelevant point to the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make was, characters that require 3 Omicrons. I think he has an Omicron on both of his specials, or one of his specials. He has an Omicron on this special, and then I think both of his uniques. Yeah, an Omicron on the special and both unique. So Conquest characters usually come out with 3 Omicrons. So I would imagine that likely what they're going to do, because of what they have done in the past, is they like to coincide Omicrons, especially bad Omicrons, but, you know, good Omicrons as well, with a little bit before or a little bit at. So the bad Omicrons, I found, tend to come out a little bit before the Conquest characters kind of hit the game. So like maybe right before Ben Swallow hits the game, they drop a bad Cassian and or Omicron, and maybe this all turns out to just be hogwash. Or maybe right after everyone's smacked on their three Omicrons of Ben Swallow, they hit us with an overpowered Cassian and or Omicron that changes the game, kind of like Zam did, Qui-Gon, Iden Versio, Wampa, and all that good stuff. And, you know, it's bang for your buck because everyone has them R8. Maybe having that really good Omicron, you know, pushes people in the direction of wanting to have this team. And because it is such an expensive farm to get the titty, and you do have to do a lot of stuff and characters that not necessarily people tend to not only have but want, and that can be a nice way to push not only, you know, this team into relevance, because I don't think the titty or the Admiral Radis Omicron is probably going to do much, and it's a solid Omicron. I've seen some good gameplay, it does some solid stuff, but by no means is it warranted an R9 and R8s, 2 R5s and R7 from Dash. Except for literally, you know, the titty. So could we get a Cassian and or Omicron in around the time the show comes out, or even before the coincide with a Conquest release, maybe to either reward / incentivize people who have gone about and wailed early? I wouldn't be surprised if they did it like, you know, right after the titty comes out, they drop a Cassian and or Omicron to reward those people. Like with the Inquisitors, I think I can't remember what the point was, but there is some point at which that I believe has already passed, if not is going to pass soon, where all of the materials you spent to get the Inquisitors have already been refunded to you in terms of all the goddamn Inquisitor events that you were forced to do. So they like to make these like weird out of the way teams, like some sort of investment, like, oh, it only requires, you know, 5 R5s to get your Inquisitors, and then you get the Grand Inquisitor. But not only do you get the Grand Inquisitor, you're getting all these feats, so you're actually profiting relic materials. And for those of you guys who are low spenders or free to play, you might be like saying like APGAINS, that makes no fucking sense. Like you have to spend $300 to $400 a character. It's not exactly an investment that you're, you know, like, oh, I'm getting a couple extra relic materials. Good, big news. But for the players who are dropping cold hard cash all the time, like, an investment like this is a big time saver, because a lot of the stuff is a little bit more difficult to whale on, and just having, you know, these investment tunes can be fun for players. So, you know, let me know what you think about this. Is just a little fun video just to kind of see where everyone's at with the Cassian and or art rework that needs to happen, because I thought the trailer looked fucking awesome, and I don't think that this character model nor this kit really serves how cool I think the show is going to be. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to help support APGAINS, link in the description. I'll take you to Patreon. For just 16 cents a day, you can help support a starving APGAINS. But as always, I love you, and I'll see you later.